Hey Yankees fans, welcome to Yankees Rumors and News, your go-to spot for the latest buzz and updates about our team. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a scoop. The New York Yankees are facing a season-defining challenge, one that has fans and analysts alike watching the calendar with bated breath, anxiously counting the days until Gerrit Cole, their undisputed ace, can return to the mound. Cole, a pitcher whose presence alone can tilt the balance of any game in the Yankees' favor, has been sidelined since undergoing Tommy John surgery last season, a procedure notorious in professional baseball for its long and often unpredictable recovery timeline. The timing of his absence is particularly painful for a Yankees roster that has been plagued by injuries throughout the 2025 campaign and well into the offseason, leaving gaps in the starting rotation that have been difficult to fill with either depth options or less experienced arms. While manager Aaron Boone initially expressed optimism, projecting Cole's return for the end of May or early June, recent commentary by Michael Kay on the New York Post The Show podcast suggests that even that timeline may have been overly hopeful. According to Kay, the ace pitcher is now expected to be back no earlier than June 1st. A revelation that has come as a surprise given that Cole had the brace surgery in March. Kay himself admitted that he anticipated a quicker recovery, reasoning that with the procedure occurring so early in the year, Cole might have been ready closer to the season's opening. However, the reality of Cole's situation reflects both his age and the Yankees' commitment to ensuring that he returns fully healthy rather than rushing back and risking further injury. The implications of Cole's absence are profound, as each start he misses is a potential loss in a rotation that has struggled to find stability, making every game without him a test of depth and resilience for the Pinstripes. The situation is further complicated when looking at the broader health challenges facing the Yankees pitching staff. Clarke Schmidt, another pitcher who has undergone Tommy John surgery, did so far later in the season, meaning that if his recovery mirrors the typical timeline, he could be absent until September, or perhaps longer, raising questions about whether he will be available at all during the 2026 season. The Yankees are therefore confronted with the reality that multiple key starters may not be available for significant stretches, forcing them to consider not only their immediate rotation needs, but also the long-term strategy for maintaining competitiveness throughout the season. Carlos Rodon, who required surgery to remove loose bodies and shave down a bone spur in his left elbow, represents one variable in this complex equation. Unlike Cole or Schmidt, Rodon has the potential to return as early as late April, a glimmer of hope for the Yankees as they prepare for the season. Still, the collective impact of multiple pitchers undergoing serious procedures means that the Yankees' starting rotation heading into opening day is far from guaranteed, and the team faces the challenge of bridging the gap left by Cole's delayed return. The interplay between these different timelines creates a scenario in which careful management, strategic acquisitions, and perhaps a bit of luck will all play pivotal roles in determining whether the Yankees can maintain their competitiveness while waiting for their stars to return to peak form. Given the uncertainty surrounding Cole, Schmidt, and even Rodon, the Yankees have understandably explored the possibility of adding another starting pitcher through trade or free agency, though manager Aaron Boone has publicly downplayed the need, insisting that the team is confident in the talent they currently possess. However, rumors tell a different story. In the weeks leading up to the start of the season, the Yankees have been linked to nearly every starter available, both in the domestic market and internationally. One of the most notable examples of this pursuit was the reported interest in Japanese flamethrower Tatsuya Imai, who ultimately signed with the Houston Astros, leaving the Yankees to look elsewhere. The pursuit of Imai highlighted the Yankees' willingness to explore bold options and underscored the urgency they feel in securing additional rotation depth. The loss of Imai to another team not only narrows the Yankees' pool of available talent, but also adds an element of frustration, as the team must continue to navigate a market in which top-tier starters are scarce and competition for elite arms is fierce. At the same time, other potential targets remain, including Edward Cabrera of the Miami Marlins and Milwaukee Brewers star Freddie Peralta. Both pitchers represent viable options for the Yankees, though acquiring either would likely require substantial trade concessions or a significant investment in free agency, raising questions about the team's willingness to part with key prospects or young talent. The strategic decisions made in the coming weeks could have ripple effects for years to come, as the Yankees weigh the immediate need for starting pitching against the long-term health and competitiveness of the roster, the broader narrative here is one of patience, timing, and the delicate balance between managing player health and maintaining competitiveness. Tommy John surgery is a procedure that, while common among elite pitchers, carries a recovery window that is far from exact. And the case of Gerrit Cole exemplifies the tension inherent in such timelines. Cole is a pitcher in his prime whose absence is felt not just in terms of statistics, but in leadership, presence, and the psychological confidence that a team draws from knowing their ace is on the mound. His delayed return until June 1st represents a strategic challenge for Boone and the Yankees coaching staff, who must plan rotations, bullpen usage, and even game strategy around his absence. The impact of Cole's absence is magnified by the uncertainty surrounding Schmidt and the delayed recovery of Rodin, creating a scenario in which the Yankees front office must weigh every decision carefully. The pursuit of additional starting pitching, whether through trade or free agency, is therefore not merely an attempt to patch holes but a calculated approach to navigating a season that could hinge on a few key starts and a few pivotal innings for fans. This situation is both frustrating and fascinating. The anticipation surrounding Cole's return, coupled with the speculation about potential acquisitions, creates a narrative that stretches from the spring all the way into the summer months. Every update, every report from the team or media insiders carries weight, as the Yankees' fortunes are inextricably tied to the health and availability of their starting rotation. The interplay between Cole's recovery, Schmidt's timeline, Rodon's potential early return, and the pursuit of additional starters forms a complex web of possibilities, each with its own risks and rewards. Analysts will debate the wisdom of pursuing trade targets aggressively versus relying on internal depth, while fans will watch every spring training game and preseason update with keen interest, searching for clues as to how quickly their ace will regain his spot in the rotation. The strategic calculations extend beyond the field, influencing roster decisions, contract negotiations, and even the psychological approach of the team as they navigate a season defined by uncertainty and potential opportunity. In the final analysis, the Yankees' situation with Gerrit Cole is emblematic of the challenges faced by all elite baseball teams operating in an era of advanced sports medicine and high-stakes competition. The path back from Tommy John surgery is rarely linear, and the decision to delay Cole's return until June 1st reflects a cautious, long-term perspective that prioritizes player health over short-term gains. While this timeline may disappoint some fans, it also represents a commitment to ensuring that when Cole does return, he is ready to perform at the level that made him one of the most feared pitchers in the league. Coupled with the uncertainty surrounding Schmidt and Rodin, the Yankees' off-season strategy, potential trades, and spring training decisions all take on added significance, shaping not just the upcoming season, but the team's trajectory for years to come. The countdown to Cole's return has officially begun, and while the road may be long and the challenges many, the promise of seeing him back on the mound remains one of the most compelling storylines of the 2026 season. Yankees fans will be watching closely, hoping that every recovery milestone is achieved, every pitch is healthy, and every start brings them closer to the full-strength rotation that once dominated the league. In the meantime, the dance of strategy, speculation, and patience continues, and the narrative of Gerrit Cole's comeback is set to define the early months of a season where every decision, every acquisition, and every start will matter in the quest to return to championship contention. If you're enjoying the updates, drop a like and let us know in the comments your thoughts on this rumor. The word around the league right now is the kind that makes front offices nervous, and fans lean closer to the screen, because there is a growing whisper that the New York Yankees are quietly exploring a way to bring Michael King back into the building, and not in a polite, distant way, but with the kind of intent that people inside baseball describe as trying to steal him back. This is not being framed as a clean plan or a done deal, but more like a pressure test, a feeler sent into the dark to see how serious the price might be, and according to the chatter, that price has already started to leak in conversations that were never meant to be public. When a franchise like the Yankees starts circling a former arm, especially one they know better than almost anyone, it is never just nostalgia. It is calculation mixed with urgency, and the tone of this rumor suggests exactly that. What makes this situation explode the way it has is the emotional layer attached to Michael King's name in the Bronx. This is a pitcher who grew inside the Yankees system, who adapted roles without complaint, who shifted from long relief to high leverage situations and then to the rotation, with the kind of professionalism that coaches love and rivals respect. The idea that the Yankees might want him back is not shocking on the surface, but the way this rumor is being described is what changes everything. Sources close to the situation say this is not a casual check-in. This is a targeted interest driven by a belief inside the organization that King has reached another level, and that letting him go may have created a hole that is now being felt more sharply than expected. The speculation gets louder when people start talking about why now. The Yankees are a team built on expectation and pressure, and when internal solutions do not fully stabilize a pitching staff, the front office has historically shown a willingness to be aggressive. Insiders suggest that there is a growing sense that King's versatility and efficiency would solve multiple problems at once, not just as a starter or reliever, but as a stabilizing presence who can absorb innings, shorten games, and calm down stretches that tend to spiral. This is the kind of value that does not always show up in basic stat lines, but front offices track it obsessively, and the Yankees are believed to be among the most data-driven in this area. Now here is where the rumor turns from interesting to explosive. The alleged price for Michael King has begun to circulate, and it is not small. The word is that any team holding King knows exactly what they have, and they are not interested in sentimental discounts or friendly conversations. The Yankees, according to this speculation, would have to part with a package that includes young, controllable talent, possibly arms that the organization has been carefully developing, and position players who are close to being major league ready. People around the league describe the ask as aggressive but not insane, the kind of price that forces a front office to decide whether it truly believes its window is open right now or if patience should still rule the day. There is also a psychological chess match happening here that fans rarely get to see. The idea of robbing back a former player carries weight in baseball circles because it sends a message that the Yankees are willing to admit a move did not age the way they hoped, and that they are confident enough to reverse course if it strengthens the roster. Some executives admire that flexibility, while others see it as risky because it can signal uncertainty. However, those who know the Yankees' internal culture say this is less about regret and more about opportunity. A recognition that Michael King's development curve might align perfectly with what the team needs at this moment. Another layer fueling this rumor is the belief that King himself would not be opposed to a return. This is pure speculation, but people who have followed his career closely point out how comfortable he was in New York, how he thrived under the spotlight, and how his role evolved in a way that maximized his strengths. The thought is not that he is pushing for a move, but that the idea of returning to a familiar environment with clear expectations and a chance to compete at the highest level would not scare him away in rumor-driven conversations. That kind of perceived openness can accelerate negotiations even before formal talks begin. From the Yankees side, the internal debate is said to be intense. Giving up future assets is never easy, especially for a team that prides itself on maintaining a steady pipeline of talent. Yet there is a growing sense that windows in baseball close faster than anyone wants to admit. The front office is reportedly weighing the cost of action against the cost of hesitation, and Michael King's name keeps surfacing because he represents a known quantity. A pitcher whose work ethic, adaptability, and mental toughness are already proven in that clubhouse. That familiarity reduces risk, and in high-pressure markets, reduced risk can be just as valuable as raw upside. The fan reaction to this rumor has been predictably divided. Even before anything concrete has happened, some see the idea of bringing King back as a smart, almost poetic correction, a way to reinforce a pitching staff with someone who understands the organization's demands. Others worry that paying a steep price for a pitcher who was already in the system could backfire, especially if it means sacrificing young players who might blossom elsewhere. This tension is exactly why rumors like this gain traction, because they force everyone to confront what they value more: the certainty of the present or the promise of the future. What keeps this story alive is the silence from official channels. No confirmation, no denial, just a steady drip of whispers from people who claim to have heard pieces of the conversation. In baseball, silence often speaks louder than statements, and the lack of a firm shutdown has only fueled the belief that something is at least being explored. The phrase being repeated is that the Yankees are monitoring the situation, a vague term that can mean anything from casual interest to serious preparation. But when paired with leaked price expectations, it starts to feel heavier. As this rumor continues to circulate, one thing is clear: Michael King has become a symbol of a larger question facing the Yankees. Are they content to trust the long game? Or are they ready to make a bold move to reinforce their pitching core with a familiar face who fits their identity perfectly? Whether this ends in a dramatic reunion or fades into the long list of what-if stories, the fact that the Yankees are even being linked so strongly to this idea says a lot about how they view their current situation. For now, all anyone can do is watch the whispers grow. Because in baseball, the loudest moves often start as the quietest rumors. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with every Yankees rumor and news. See you in the next video.